Welcome to the Sod Cemetery in its 60th season. It celebrates Seminole wins against the crowd and against the odds when no one gave FSU much of a chance. When you're near Doak Campbell, we hope you'll drop by and visit the cemetery. You can press the button and you can hear from former Seminole players who tell you about their days in bringing home the sod for victory and for burial. Sod Talk, connecting Seminole fans with Seminole legends. Today, two-time Super Bowl champion Seminole Bryant McFadden talks with All-American, Jim Thorpe Award winner, Super Bowl champion, retired jersey number 27, Terrell Buckley. Hello, B-Mac and T-Buck.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you, Terrell Buckley, for joining us for this episode of Sod Talk. So, T-Buck, let's go back to the beginning, right? You came from a great high school football program in Pascagoula, Mississippi in 1989. Now, this is what they documented, right? I need you to confirm this for me. They said you had 30 interceptions and averaged 30 yards per punt return. Is that true?
Very true. Yes.
You had 30?
Yeah, I was getting them, dog. This is nothing new to me, getting interceptions.
Man, and with those numbers, with that production, man, you could have went anywhere in the country. But why did you choose Florida State?
Well, a combination. You had Dion, prime time there, and the guy that actually coached him, Mickey Andrews, recruited me, the DB coach and the coordinator.
Yep.
And then obviously the head of that is Coach Bobby Bowden, and the atmosphere. You mix all those components together, it's like, why would I go anywhere else?
And what was it like playing for Coach Andrews?
It was unbelievable. You again, going back to Dion, you look at arguably the greatest corner, DB, athletic person that you've seen, and this guy that's coaching him has laid his hands on. Now he's going to turn around, and I have an opportunity to learn and be up under him and see what he says about me, and all that stuff. It was fascinating. It was enlightening. And encouraging at the same time.
Yeah, and of course, playing sports, specifically speaking, playing football, a lot of players get nicknames. They earn nicknames. But you earned your nickname with just one play, right? The Fooler from Pascagoula. At Syracuse, your freshman year, you took a punt back to the house. When you initially caught the football, you didn't move. You were just standing still. People thought you actually fair caught the football. Then you ran 69 yards for a touchdown. Tell us about the Fooler play, and was that your first time doing that?
Well, in college, did it one time. First time, only time in college. I previous did it in high school. We was playing Macomb. I remember the game, Macomb in the playoff game. Caught it, stood there. Again, kind of the same thing of being able to turn the corner, trying to get that pursuit to slow down, so I could show off my speed. And so I did it in high school, turned around, did it in college, and it put me on the map. And everything is the Fooler from the Gula.
No doubt. Shout out to that was Gene Deckerhoff on that call too, right?
Yes,
sir. The Fooler from Pascagoula, coming from the great Gene Deckerhoff. So let's fast forward to 1991, right? Mm-hmm. You led FSU in one of the biggest side game wins in program history, to say the least. At Michigan, number 1 versus number 3, over 100,000 people in the stands. On the outside, you going against the great Desmond Howard, who eventually won the Heisman, right?
Correct.
You won the Thorpe Award, so you got 5-star on 5-star. Mm-hmm. Second play, you set the tone for the 51-31 win. Tell us about that pick 6 to start the game.
Well, what we wanted to do before that side game is to make sure they were sitting on their hands in the game, which means we was putting it on them. And we felt like our speed, fundamental, and just our whole attitude was going to be too much for them. And we wanted to get off to a great start. And it was a basic play. That's why I always tell folks, when you fundamentally sound as a football player, quarterback goes up under the center, and something we work on every day in practice. He takes a snap, he comes out 1, 2, 3. As a corner, we've learned at Florida State, you know this. I'm off 7.5 yards. I'm looking at the quarterback. He takes 3 steps. I glide that slip foot out of there. 1, 2, 3. He settles. I settle. Eyes go back to the receiver. Get him under control. Break at the proper angle. Start the break. Under control. Now find the ball. Now find the ball and adjust to the ball. That's exactly what happened. And everything else is history out there. Down the sideline, putting that ball out, letting them know.
Like that? You put it out like that,
Put
right?
it out there, let them see it. Like, you know you can't get it, and then go jump in the stand. I do, instead of doing the Lambeau leap, do the T-Buck leap.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In Ann Arbor, I mean, that's one of my favorite highlights of yours. When you look at all the highlights you were able to create at Florida State, that's probably one of my favorites outside of the Fuller from Pascagoula, that play we just highlighted. You set an NCAA record, another unbelievable stat, 501 yards in interception return yards.
Yes.
That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you should have probably played a little bit tailback or slot wide receiver at some point in time?
Wide receiver, exactly. You know, I played. It's funny. Didn't play played in high school. Played in middle school. Didn't play in college, and played a few games in the pros. Never played in college, which, looking back on it, because I was doing so much other stuff, they was like, well, we're on the way out. And plus, we had a bunch of guys on the other side. You know, you get all those explanations, but I always tell them, they can't make plays like that. I can get over there, run a slant, run a comeback, run something, or at least take the top off, run them out.
Yeah.
But yes, I would have loved to have taken a few snaps in college.
No doubt. I mean, I think you had over 500 yards in return yards. When you caught the football, you were either taking it to the house or you were going to gain at least 20 to 30 yards.
And it should have been my freshman year. I caught one. I got a pick in the back of the end zone. Didn't step out. And they called me out after I had run by 75, 80 yards the other way. Didn't score. Pushed out on the faking the guys out, pushed out on the 20-yard line. So that was 80 yards that should have been added to that. That was and did that in 3 years. So
in 3 years. 3 years. You had 21 picks in 3 years.
Yes. I would have loved, let me tell you something. I always dreamt about, man, what could I have done with another year?
You didn't need it.
Get better. I mean,
you got 21 in 3 years. I mean, what else you need to do?
Hey, try to take that instead of getting 13, 14, so you can get 15, 16.
No question. Listen, T-Boy, they got to start putting more respect on your name when you look at some of the best to ever do it collegiately. Because I know when it comes to Florida State, you start the conversation with Deion Sanders, deserving so. But Terrell Buckley, right there.
Yeah, numbers don't lie.
Numbers speaks for itself. And because of that success you ended up going top 5.
Yes.
Top 5 in the National Football League in the draft. You played an amazing 14 years, and you gave the league 50 picks. Quietly gave the NFL 50 interceptions.
55, you want to count the playoff and a Super Bowl.
Okay, well, correct me then. 55 in totality, right?
My nickname is 55.
What do you attribute your longevity to, being so successful and so healthy?
Hard work, dedication, understanding that there's 4 elements to the game of being a professional athlete, not just a pro. You know, I broke it down. Everybody say I'm a pro ball player, I'm a pro, and I'm like, I'm professional. You know, if you look at professional, I'm gonna take care of my body, I'm gonna get the proper sleep, I'm gonna spend the time with my family, I'm gonna make sure I got a plan after this. You know, one of the things I did, I left school early. I needed 75 hours for graduation. And so in the midst of all that, family, playing ball, I was still going to school. So it was the disciplinary part, the focus, and I had intent on being a great player, which I still think in the NFL, if you go numbers, the teams, the defenses I played under, the coaches, it's one of those things that numbers don't lie. The success don't lie. And when you don't get caught up in what everybody's saying and thinking, Yeah. I know this for a fact. If there's a play need to be made, or you need a guy to show up and play, never miss the game, to be there for you, I would say I would count on myself to be in any situation. Guarding and all the receivers that I covered majority of the time are Hall of Fame players. Mm-hmm. So they made plays, but I made plays.
You made a lot of
the name of the game.
Yes, sir. To make more plays than the person you're going against.
There you go.
That's it. Yes. That's it. You want to win 51% of the times. If you do that, you're going to come out winning.
Yeah, exactly.
So 51. That's all you got to do is win 51%. That's what LeBeau used to tell us. Win 51%. If you do that, guess what? At the end of the day, we're going to be right where we need to be.
Right where you need to be. And it amazes me that you make all those plays, you do all the things I've done, and say you mentioned, even at the pro level. Like I feel like my pro level contributions and playmaking, when you look at everything, the totality, it's just as impressive as college. And I know a lot of people don't talk about that. Where look at high school. So for me, I produce at every level because of the fundamentals. The Lord blessed me with a certain amount of ability, and my attitude and the attitude.
Yeah, and talking about that, you dominated high school wise, collegiately, professionally, won a championship with the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and now you're a head coach for the Orlando franchise of the XFL. Tell us a little bit about what are you doing to prepare for your first head coaching opportunity in this new league, the XFL?
Well, in this new league, the XFL, which I don't know yet, they haven't told us actually where we're going to be.
Okay.
That's coming down the pipe. But the opportunity to be a head coach, I think, is a natural progression of helping and wanting to develop young men and getting the opportunity to run a program and have your vision and your work ethic all of a sudden transfer to the coaching side. Mm-hmm. The development from the players, coaching 15 years, and over 20 of my guys that I've found, scouted, got to develop, have gone on to sign professional contracts. And now as a head coach, to be able to bring the coaching staff together, to be the practice schedule, to the organization, that how you gonna put everything together from the bottom to the top, and then to go out and win ball games and help develop and have impact on young men off the field. I think it's just something special, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. And how I'm accepting that challenge is like I always do. I'm going to visit other head coaches. I'm going to visit winning programs. I'm taking great notes. I'm asking questions. And I know I don't know everything. I do have a foundation, and I'm willing to adjust as it goes.
Well said, well said. And I know one thing, Seminole Nation, they can't wait to support you when that time comes. So you better believe you're going to have a lot of garnet and gold voices cheering for you and your team. What are your best memories at Florida State? While you were there at Florida State, your best memories?
Oh, man, I have a bunch of them. I tell you.
You can give me the best one.
It's so many. I tell you, the first encounter I had with Coach Andrews on what you would say that I'm about to strangle you was when we first got there. We had training camp, and only the freshmen was there. Mm-hmm. The old guys, they were still letting us come in, and the vets would come in 3 days later. So it was like a mini camp.
Yeah.
And I'm out there. I'm telling you, the future. Kevin Knox is out there. And I'm telling him, you the future. I'm the general. The general gonna tear you up because the future. You making plays, talking trash. I got my towel on. I mean, I'm just wilding out, right?
Yeah.
And Mickey is spitting. He got the sunflower seed. He just spitting and all that. He didn't like all that.
Yeah.
And he was like, you little just spitting on. You wait till them vets get here. And I said, well, Coach, they gonna get the same thing. Hey, that was my first encounter of how Coach Andrews tried to bring you in, where it was like, oh man, this overall confidence. that matches work, the work
Mm-hmm.
ethic, man. That to me, for me personally, is one of my fondest memories. Was you got somebody that's hard nosed, old school,
Yeah.
that is gonna try everything in his power to break you down.
No question.
But if you have that base and that solid base, you still won't have no issues. I would say that was one of my intros, and then the other ones is just the Miami game that night, probably the loudest I ever been a part of a dope camp. I mean, hair was sticking on your neck that night, 1989, where we beat them, and Dexter Carter putting the rag on the linebacker Bernard Clark, I think, head.
Yeah.
And we beat Miami. The Florida game, we didn't beat Florida there, but facing Emmett and that crowd and the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I would say all those games, the Hurricanes, the Gators, and flying out to Anaheim and tearing BYU up was another memory. It's all like team stuff of the bonding, man, that I look back on and I get excited about from my teammates, and us celebrating and having a great time. You mentioned in Michigan, going up there and putting it on Michigan.
Yeah.
And afterwards, listening to Coach Bowden say and tell people, we play you anywhere, anytime. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We coming. Wherever you want it, we're going to bring it to you.
No doubt. Great memories coming from a great man. T-Buck, you're one of the best to ever wear garnet and gold. Thank you for joining us here for this Sod Talk episode. Pleasure is all mine.
Hey, man, go Noles, no blooded.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you, man. And I'm always going to be a Noles supporter, baby.
Yes, sir.
There you
Until
go.
next
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.